It is a warm welcome to another interesting edition of our program, Issues of the Moment. And on today's edition of the program, we are going to place on the front burner a topical issue that affects every Igbo man. I'm talking about the agitation for a Nigerian president of Igbo extraction. Almost after 61 years of nationhood, Nigeria, regarded as Africa's populous democracy, is yet to have a Nigerian president of Igbo extraction with full executive powers. That has continued after the unfortunate Nigeria-Biafra war, despite the invaluable contributions of Ndi Igbo in nation building. The agitation for a Nigerian president of Igbo extraction has continued, and it has become louder as the nation approaches another election year. That is the background information concerning the topic we are going to discuss today. And I have in the studio a chieftain of Ohaneze Ndi Igbo. He is Elder Justice Roland Ajiziogu. Elder Ajiziogu is the immediate past president of Abia State chapter of Ohaneze Ndi Igbo, and he is at present the special advisor to Abia State Governor on Ohaneze matters. Elder Ajiziogu, welcome to Issues of the Moment.
Thank you. It is my pleasure to be here.
I also have in the studio a legal practitioner and Aba-based lawyer. He is Barrister Pascal Emeka Onyago. Emeka Onyago, welcome to Issues of the Moment.
Thank you, Zeps. It's my pleasure. Good day, listeners and watchers.
We also have in the studio students of Living TV Film Academy here in Aba. This is an audience participatory program. I am your host, Chimezie Ozems. Welcome to Issues of the Moment. Let me start with you, Elder Ajiziogu. We are gradually and consistently approaching 2023. Is it visible? Is it possible to have an Igbo president in 2023?
Thank you very much. The issue of Igbo presidency, I would like to use the word, not Igbo presidency, but equity president. Because when you look at the word Igbo presidency, it looks very myopic. It looks as if we are trying to be ethnic in nature. So I'm going to replace the word Igbo presidency with equity president. Because if the Southeast is given a presidency, it will be an equitable distribution of what we are talking about. The answer is in the affirmative. It is possible for a Southeasterner to become president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But if we have to look at it from the other point of view, you look at our voting capacity in Igbo land. What is our population? The apathy of our people to be involved in electoral activities.
Okay, and then I would like you to stop here because I will still ask you that question.
Okay.
Now, Paris Onyago, I will still ask you the same question. In 2023, how possible it is to have an Igbo president?
Thank you very much, Zeps. I'll answer that question, not the single phrase. The answer to that question is flying in the air. Just like the RC, the Ajiziogu just intended a little. Personally, I'm not interested in the presidency of an Igbo man or any person at all. But because of the fact that this country has been couched in a form that we don't think Nigeria anymore. What we think is where you come from, what is your religion, or where you belong. And that is why you have this crave for an Igbo man to be a president of Nigeria. President of Nigeria said that some people will argue that an Igbo man has been a president in quotes. They may bring up the name like Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, who actually wasn't a president per se. He was a ceremonial president of this country as an Igbo man. And the Abiyosi took up the mantle of leadership of this country because of the power of the gun. And after him, a lot of people in the north have been taking the presidential seat one after the other. But what we are talking about, I think, is a civilian of Igbo extraction being an executive president of this country. And like I said, the answer is finally A, in the sense that we have lopsidedness in couching this country. If the president of an Igbo man will come up, we need to look at our capacity. In this sense, electoral capacity, voting capacity. It's not that our people are all that apathetic in elections. But take a look at the creation of states. It was couched, it was done in a form that no Igbo man, that is the so-called Southeasterner, will have much say. Because we are pushed, we are boxed like in pugilism, in boxing, to a corner. We have only 5 states. And the 5 states we have, you have 3 senators and equal number of representatives in each state. And some people have 7, some have 6. My brother, how do you think that in that number you can, have your way if you come up with voting? And again, we need to go into what they call alignment.
Okay, don't worry. I think you have answered my question. You said that it is possible to have a president in 2023. That is what you said.
Well, I didn't say it is possible, and I did not say it is not possible.
Okay.
He said that it is flying in the air.
Yes.
So what is flying in the air? Is it possibility or not being possible?
So I will come with that if I was given the opportunity.
Yes.
I will elaborate and elaborate.
Okay, thank
what
you.
I meant.
Now, Elder Adjunct, let me ask you another question. Also on the subject we are discussing this today. When you talk about democracy, is a game of numbers, the population. And all of us are aware that in Igbo, we don't have that population, in parentheses. Now, how possible, when you take into account our population, to produce a president?
Thank you, Josephs. The Igbos have the population. We have the population. First, by January 2018, the population of the Southeast is 8 million. That is our people who are domiciled in the 5 states of the Southeast. In 2017, when there was this quick notice by the North against Igbo, Ohaneze Igbo National took up the business of trying to have our population in the 19 states of the North. And through the Igbo Delegate Assembly, our people who are there, through the Igbo Delegate Assembly, we were able to find that Igbo in the 19 states of the North are 19.4 million.
Those in diaspora?
Those in diaspora in Nigeria. Again, we also took the same journey and business to the Southwest and Lagos, the entire Southwest and Lagos in particular. And we find out that we have 5.3 million people. So when you compute the 3 segments together, those at home, those in diaspora, we have 31 million. The question is, with what vote did the current president won his election in 2019? 50 million. So the Igbo, we have the capacity to win this election if only we can be able to speak with one voice, with the same mind, and present a credible candidate who has, like my brother did say earlier, who has capacity, who has the capability, who has the charm, the influence, who has the connection, not only local and international and national connection, but also international connection. Somebody who may have performed creditably well in a formal position in this country. So we have the population, but the other thing, like I said before, is what is eating up the Igbo. In 2011, when we all came out to vote for President Jonathan won that election with 22 million against Buhari 12 million. Then the question is, what happened in 2015 when he had to lose to President Buhari, who got 15 million and he got 12 million votes? Because of lack of patience and lack of performance on the man we voted.
Okay, thank you. I think you have answered my question. We still come to that. Now, Ed will raise the issue of disunity among Igbo. He also said that we have the population. Is it true that we are not united? Igbo in particular.
I wouldn't like to say that the Igbo man is not united. The Igbo man is united, except when it has to do with personal interest. Why do I say so? The Igbos are united when you want to press them as a unit to the walls. You now see the unity in the Igbo man. But when it comes to this political issue we're talking about, the average Igbo man is no more interested in politics of this country, because the environment does not want the Igbo man to thrive. The average person that is not an Igbo man is afraid of an Igbo man. If you venture out now, outside the southeast, and someone notices you are an Igbo man, that person will have this inkling that, look, the people that are dominating us are with us. Let us guide against that. Because this is a propaganda the person, when I say person, I am talking about the non-Igbos, used to remove us from where God has put us. Because God gave the Igbo man, you know, God created human being and said, go and dominate. I feel that go and dominate man is the Igbo man. Because you see that dominance in him. But he's not using his dominance to dominate. He wants to take dominion, but not to oppress you.
Okay, thank you very much.
The average person that thinks he is our opponent is seeing us, seeing Igbo man as, oh no, if we give this man a chance, he will swallow us.
Okay, thank you very much, Paris Tonyago. At this point, we are going to take a break. And when we come back, we will continue with this interesting discourse. Today, we are taking a look at 2023 and the possibility of having an Igbo president. Stay tuned. back to the program. This is Issues of the Moment, and today we are taking a look at Igbo presidency as we approach another election year. At this time, we are going to give an opportunity to students of Living TV Film Academy to ask some of those questions agitating their minds. And you know the rules. First of all, identify yourself properly and your department, and you go ahead and ask your question.
Okay. My name is Shaul Michael from the Department of Film and Multimedia Studies. And my question is this. If political apathy is one of the problems of the Igbo people as pertains to not coming out to vote or participating or being the president, what do you think is the cause of this political apathy amongst them? There must be something that must have given rise to this political apathy, something that must have made them lose interest in politics that may warrant the population dropping in participating in elections.
Thank you very much, Mr. Michael. I would like you to answer that question. Why the political apathy among Ndi?
Thank you very much. One, lack of performance on the part of our political leaders.
Is it those from the southeast or at the federal level?
You see, in the southeast, we operate a system, the Republican system. In the southwest and the north, they have their kind of system where they listen to their leaders, whatever their leaders say they do. Here in the southeast, the Igbo man is acephalous. The Igbo man will always say, so when the leaders are not performing, when they are voted into power and they are not distributing and allocating the dividends of democracy to the segment of society, creating employment, giving people the opportunity to grow, the apathy sets in. So, like you said, even at the national level, there is a lack of performance. I think yesterday or day before yesterday, we heard from, unfortunately, from the president himself, who has admitted that he is a failure and that he would like to leave the office as a failure. So, lack of performance. When you look at his vote he got in 2019 and the vote he got in 2015, you see that there was a decline. And assuming he is to run for a third term, you will also find out that the declination will also do what? Will continue. Another reason why people are no longer showing interest in coming out to vote is lack of adequate sensitization. People are not sensitized to know that it is their legitimate right, the electoral right, to vote. Listen, like the moderator said when we were starting, politics is of numbers. Number matters in politics. Power is not given, power is taken. And nobody gives you a mark in an examination you did not participate in. So the apathy that we are experiencing is lack of performance on leaders, lack of also interest in what pertains to us. Some of us they don't show interest in politics, unlike the Yorubas and the Hausas.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, before we take another question from the students, Pastor Nyago, still on that question asked by Sean Michael, how do we restore the confidence of our people on governance? And secondly, what do you think can be done when I know that at the end of the day my vote will not count? How do you convince me to vote?
Thank you. Before I answer that question categorically, I want to put this in front burner. As far as politics is concerned in this union called Nigeria, I think the Igbo man is more interested in politics, or rather was more interested in politics than any other tribe. That's why our people fought.
Civil War.
That's why even before the Civil War, the Igbo man was more interested in the independence of this country. The problem is this, like what have been said severally, insincerity of purpose. When you talk about party does not come just in a vacuum. If I send you to go and buy something and you come back, you didn't perform very well, do you expect me to ask you to go again? And if several people were sent for a purpose and they failed, how do you want us to continue having interest in that same project? I said in passing earlier that the project Nigeria sidelined the Igbo man. Whether you like it or not,
please, excuse me.
That is why the Igbo man is apathetic.
That is Tonyago. I want you to go straight to my question. How can you convince me to vote when I know that at the end of the day, my vote will not count?
Good. The conviction there is one, sincerity of purpose. You have to educate me, sensitize me, and tell me that you are a leader, not a misleader. If you bring all this together, you now bring out the interest in the average constituent, the average performer, average person in the society. We'll see you as, if we send you, you will perform. If we send you, you will buy what we have asked you to buy.
Okay, thank you. Now, apart from the leaders, what about the electoral umpire, INEC?
Good. That is,
are they not contributing to what is happening today?
They have a share of it. Reason, he who pays the piper dictates the tune. INEC is not independent. What about the acronym independent? It's not. And if you are paying me, you don't expect me to run down your interest. So until INEC becomes independent and all it does is transparent, you now see their performance. Let me give you an instance. There was a certain professor, who was at the head of the electoral body then. He performed. Reason is that he didn't want to be bought over. He didn't want to dance to your tune.
That was in 1993.
Good. And you saw how it ended up. The player of the piper removed the flute from the piper.
Okay. Excuse me.
There's something I want to put in there also, just to collaborate what he had just said. There was a time that President Barack Obama could not come to Nigeria, but he came to Ghana. And he was asked what should be done in Africa, and particularly in Nigeria. He stated clearly that what we need in Nigeria is strong institutions. Like he said, INEC need to be completely independent. INEC need the cutting-edge technology that will make electoral malpractices very, very difficult.
Okay, thank you. Now let us take another question from the audience.
My name is Obia Aneka, and I'm from the Department of Presidency. And my question is, if actually there is equity in the government, is there still any reason for getting an Igbo president in the democratic system?
We didn't hear you very well. Please, can you repeat that question?
I said that my question is, if there was an equity in the government, is there still any reason for getting an Igbo president in the democratic system?
Okay, thank you very much.
I think she's talking about merit.
Competence.
Competence, that is what she wants to ask. If there is if the system we operate in Nigeria is a system that is not based on rotational presidency, because in rotational presidency, the zone it comes to can give anybody out and say this is our best, and the best may not be good for the entire nation. This is a nation that has great human resources, very powerful, intellectuals, geniuses are here. Because of the environment, which we have, they are not noticed, but when they go outside, they are what? Noticed. So my dear Jacinta, the problem we have is lack of what? Merit, performance. People who, if there is merit in what we are doing in Nigeria, we won't be talking about Igbo president or whatever. It will always, like in America we are copying, they don't do zoning. It is between the two political parties, the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. There are other parties, but these are the two giant ones that oversee the space. So at every electoral period, they are all out selling their best. The question is, now that we are craving for Igbo president, like you asked, but I'm saying it is equity president, who are our best? Assuming the Nigerian Federation says, okay, the Igbo man, you have cried so much, let us allow you to produce the next president. Who will be our best? Who are we projecting? Who will be there for us? That is it.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, Paris Onyago, our time is limited, so I'm appealing that you should be brief. Now, we have less than 2 years to 2023, and as we speak, no Igbo man has shown interest in taking a shot at the highest political office in Nigeria. Is it a sign of seriousness? And yet we are clamoring for an Igbo president.
Thank you. Just like Igbo man says, I am on. The problem regarding our ascendance to the presidency of this country is fundamental. It's created, it's just like you send somebody to an errand and placed a banana peel. That's the problem. It's not that the woman has gotten nothing to offer. The woman has gotten not even 100% plus to offer this country. But like I said earlier, this country was couched in a form that they don't want you to come up. And whatever you do, look at what is happening in the so-called political parties we have in the country as regards Southeast. Problems, this person will come up tomorrow and this the other one said, I am the leader. It is just to dislodge the Igbo man.
Okay.
That's the problem. They want to use us to render us useless.
Okay, thank you very much. We are going to take another break, and when we come back, Elder Ajiziobi is still going to talk about this very question, why we are here to have an Igbo man showing interest in the presidency. Stay tuned. And we are on the last lap of the program. And before we went on that short break, that is who was giving me a sign that he intends to contribute regarding the question asked if any woman has shown interest in taking a shot in the presidency. That is who I want you to be brief.
Yeah, Chief Master Samu Abonwa has shown enormous interest, and he has been going from every geopolitical zone to the other to sell himself and to have a handshake across the Niger. Just last Tuesday this week, the Ohanese Igbo endorsed his interest in pursuing the equity president from Igbo extraction. Again, there is another Professor Chudi from Anambra State who has jumped into APGA, who from Anambra State he is interested in the polity too. But I want to say something which was said by one of our former leaders, the military leaders, President Ibrahim Babangida. He recently said that he is looking at somebody who is in the age bracket of 50 to 60 years. It has severally been said that youths are the leaders of tomorrow, so that the youth should be given the opportunity to lead this great nation. But another thing I would like to add to this question is that APC is in power. What is the numerical strength and who of the Igbo are in APC that if they decide to give their ticket to Ndibo, will be there for us? Is a research all of us have to make.
Okay, thank you. We are going to take another question, and we should be the last from the students.
Okay, so my question is this. What you just talked about APC political party, is Nigeria running a democratic system of government or a system of government that considers only political parties? That if a political party must win and not the individuals or the candidate who has picked up the tickets should win, or must it be one who is from a particular political party?
Mr. Onyang is talking about independent candidates. We have that in our constitution.
As far as I know, last I checked, the constitution does not make room for independent candidates.
You must come from a political
You
party.
must have a party which you are affiliated to, which will now make you their candidate. But the question he put is whether we are running a civilian government or democracy. As far as I know also, since 1999 now, we are not running a democracy. We are running an autocratic civilian regime. Whatever party that is in power, whether PDP or APP or APGA or APC, as far as I know, we are not running a democratic governance. We are running a civilian regime. That is, you are not holding gun, but you are holding gun back in proxy. Why did I say that? Like your question has a banana peel. You wanted us to see whether we are practicing the real thing called democracy, which was defined by people that invented it as a government of people, by the people, and of the people. You now find that is not true. Some people will gang up somewhere, that is where you have this cabalism. Some people will come up and tell you what they want, and tell you who they want to be there. You will do your election, and they will go back and make their own selection. And that is where this apathy of the thing sprang up. So until we start running a democratic governance, we are still beating around.
But I want to catch in here. He talked about that we are running a dictatorship.
Civilian dictatorship.
Fine, but I will defy a little bit. I will say that the democracy we are practicing seems to be selective democracy. It is not participatory. Because, like somebody earlier asked, Nigerians, they have not been convinced enough to give in themselves to participatory democracy. The right to participate is enshrined in the Constitution. It has not been well canvassed. Look at what happened in the NSAS protests. There was a mobilization. People came to understand what was going wrong, and they protested against it. And when the participation came, nobody was asked to, participate. People voluntarily went into it. The issue of sit at home is another thing that is showing us that if Nigerians are well mobilized, we can come out in our numbers. As at January 2017, we are told that our population is 200 million. Now, a population of 200 million, and in 2019, we had only 84 million as registered voters. What is the percentage? Lack of good mobilization, inability on the part of our leaders to educate the citizenry and let them know that it is their right to participate. But they are afraid because they know that if this right is well made broad and known to them, that they will be voted out.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Now, Mr. Onyago, recently, the 17 Southern State Governors met in Lagos, which has come to be known as the Lagos Declaration, and they declared that the next president who should succeed President Buhari should come from their region. Now, do you foresee a situation where the two major political parties, the APC and the PDP, will field an Igbo man as their presidential candidate in 2023? Is it possible?
Thank you. We are back to square one. This is the first question you asked in another form. There is this morbid fear that the Igbo man is not supposed to be there. Until we convince ourselves and our brothers across the Niger and up north that let them remove this fear. The Igbo man is created to be the champion of champions. But they have this fear of dominance, like I said earlier. And that is the issue. And that's why a good number of the Igbos are no more interested. Because even if they go there, they will use this thumbs up majority population. While the Igbo man, I know, has a very great number of population in this country. Go to every nook and cranny in this country. If you do not see any Igbo man there, you know that that place is not in existence.
Okay. Just not to cut in.
One thing.
You cannot give your enemy a baton or a banner of life. You cannot.
Excuse me.
Now, Baristonia, you talked about convincing other tribes of the country that we mean well. And how can we achieve that? Elder Jiziogo, please. I want you to be as brief as possible. My director is telling me that our time is almost over.
How can we achieve?
Yes.
Fine. Two things may be involved here. One, the nation, through the political parties that has the power to field candidates, must be urged, I use the word urged, to zone their presidency to the south. And that zoning into the south, there must also be cooperation between the southwest and the southeast to allow the southeast to do what, to take it. The second one is that there must be cooperation and understanding. Again, our people need to be involved in the party that is in government. Why do I say so? Like I was trying to say, you cannot give to your enemy banner of victory of life. He will use it to destroy you. So they either become too participatory in what the ruling party is doing, or the opposition party have to do something extraordinary. How many local government do we have in the southeast? 95. In this 95, how many belongs to APC? How many belongs to PDP? This is it. And it is with this number that we want to use to attack, to work. So we need a handshake across the Niger. We need to demystify the issue that Barrister talked about, that there seems to be a cold war or a limit in parentheses between the Igbo and the other regions of Nigeria.
Thank you very much. And with that, we have come to the end of today's edition of our program, Issues of the Moment. We have been discussing the possibility of producing a Nigerian president of Igbo extraction in the year 2023. I want to thank my discussants on today's edition of the program. Elder Roland Ajusioga, I want to thank you for being part of today's edition of Issues of the Moment. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I also want to thank Barrister Emeka Pasco Onyago for coming to Issues of the Moment. God bless you. It's always a pleasure having you on the program.
It's my pleasure, and thank you for giving me that chance.
I also want to thank students of Living TV Film Academy here in Aba, the commercial capital of Southeast Nigeria, who contributed by asking questions that are relevant to the issue we discussed. My name is Chimezie Ozems. Thanks for watching.